Shadowrun Out of Nest and On Edge, with Twister playing the part of a Bobob, playing the part of Twister.
Hello, hello.
So I've got your little Bones astral. How big should the astral body be comparatively?
Well, I imagine about the same size.
Okay. So it's not a tiny little wisp, it's more like a human-sized wisp.
Yep. As per my original message to you.
Kara says he's so cute.
I can't see him.
Now we can't see him due to the fact that we're all just covering it with our pointers.
That's a creepy eyeball.
Right about that, to the left.
Yeah, the eyeball's just the watcher spirit.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's cute, I guess.
Wow, just whatever.
I think it's super cute.
Thank you.
It looks like a ghost, so I must punch it.
I mean, it technically is. It's literally a wisp.
Have you noticed, man, that my hands are so huge?
All right, so who would like to go first with their declarations of the established activities their character has done up to this point? You don't have to recount, like Mike doesn't have to tell us about the fact that he got slashed. More to the point, he bought a property. We established the stats for that property, but details about that property would be a good thing to establish concretely now, so nothing needs to be retconned later.
All right, I'm going to guess that's my cue to go first.
You don't have to. So, does anyone volunteer to go first?
I definitely don't.
I can, I suppose. Cage basically researched all kinds of strange out there meta-type creatures and humans that might be at the facility, and basically studied what would be the best way to fight them. And generally what he came up with is lots of area effect things, shotguns, shrapnel grenades, possibly incendiary grenades, that sort of thing.
Okay. And are you saying that he spent all of his time doing this research, or was there other activities that he did during this past effectively a week?
Well, that was pretty much what he did before that. Yes, I didn't think he did much more than that. I think he tried to contact his demo, his
El
mage
Diablo?
demo friend.
Did we...
Am I pressing the wrong button again?
Oh, there you are. Okay, we hear you now.
Okay, so I'll repeat myself. That was, what he did up until we fought the spirit. He might have tried to contact his demo mage friend, but I think he didn't get very far with that.
Okay, well, he didn't get anything on the first attempt, but I don't... Remember, it's basically been a whole week. So how much stuff did Cage do during that week?
Well, I imagine he would train, he would, try to contact his mage demo friend. And this is, I mean, a week before we fought the spirit in the warehouse, right?
Yeah, everything from the day you got the job up to the encounter with the spirit is 1 week.
Yeah, okay. So I'm covering that mostly, because afterwards he would be even more insistent to contact a mage friend, because he wants to know ways how to deal with the spirit. But before that it's basically just weapons training, and he might poked one of the more connected people of the party and basically went like, hey, it might be handy if we got some shotguns, sidearms, and maybe some slight grenades for everyone. Like, Cage has a lot of grenades for himself, so he's good on that ground.
All right. Do you want to give a quick shopping list that you can type up, and when we're talking with somebody else, you can post that, and then we'll see if anyone wants to pick up your shopping list?
Yeah, sure, I can make something quick.
Okay, great. Someone else want to go next?
I could.
I believe that was Frosty.
Yeah, it was. I was just waiting to see if anybody else had anything. Ace basically disguised himself poorly, slumped with the homeless people, then went back, got more stuff to, quote unquote, buy out the homeless people to get more information out of them. I do believe that's pretty much it, what Ace has been doing.
Well, you do remember there was something that he did elsewhile for Smoke.
Oh yeah, helped to get the goggles.
Okay, so
And let me think quickly. Did I do anything else?
well, I'm giving you
Hear
the
some
chance here to
rumors.
declare other things you did, because again, this is a whole week worth of time. So I don't imagine Ace was just hanging out with homeless people and sitting on his ass all day. I'm just giving you the chance here to say what else Ace did during that week.
I would say that Ace did what I just said, as he was, trying to find any sort of leads or helpful information about this specific warehouse and area, and probably would have been confirming those, or at least tried to confirm those informations he might have gotten.
All right, and with whom would he be speaking with to try and get some more information this way?
Well, there was that insane fellow, quote unquote, that got stabbed by the spirit as well. Wait, no, that was a different fellow. It was the insane guy who said there was the beautiful woman taking a smoke outside.
But you didn't get that information until just before going to meet the Viscountess. So
Oh yeah.
I thought you were implying that Ace went and maybe spoke with, the business association or city hall, gathered information like that. That's what I thought you were implying.
Oh yeah, that seems like a Ace thing to do.
So how about you just type down a quick list then of the other people Ace would have talked to during the week and what
Okay.
sort of questions he would have pointedly asked eventually. All
I
right.
shall do so.
Okay. Kara, do you want me to read what you've got for Voin up to this point? All right. Kara says Voin did preparation work. Okay, we're going to need something a little more specific than that. Mostly analysis of the maps we have and plans of attack. Yep. Studied potential weak points and areas of interest. Yep. Relayed that intel to the team. Yep. Do you think that took the whole week for her, Kara, or was there other activities she was conducting? Of course, Kara's got to type. So who wants to go next while Kara's typing?
Smoke, with Ace's help, managed to get a hold of the glasses. That eventually helped him out quite a bit. But while he was in the process of searching for that, he also established a suitable disguise for himself and surveyed the area around while also checking for using his own radar and mapping software to get a better idea of the area.
And how many times did he survey?
3 times.
Okay, so we'll just make a quick note here then. Three excursions, I guess, is the excursions. Yeah, I guess that's the word we'll use. So Smoke's been pretty busy overall, but was there anything else you wanted to squeeze into his schedule?
No, because he also asked Sliver to try and acquire maps of the sewer in the area. Find out whether or not there's sewers running underneath that building.
Sorry, he is waiting for those maps, or he's trying to get those maps?
He's trying to get Sliver to get that information.
Ah, okay.
That's one of the things he asked Sliver to get.
Okay, so okay. That's the other thing. Each of you get to request one thing from Sliver, either like. Basically, he has an ability called Info Sortilege. It's a Technomancer Echo that allows him to basically do the equivalent of digital divination. So feel free to try to exploit that. Who next? Or wait, Kara's typed up here. So Durandal was trying to keep a low profile and mostly getting her stuff together. She doesn't want to reach out for fear of making mistakes. Because she's got her mind on the mission and in her mind and on Razor's Edge, and nervously waiting to make sure that the others are ready to do their part. Will Voin ask anything of Sliver? Similarly, Cage and Ace, if there's anything other than the pay data that you might want when the job is done. Is there anything specific to the job that you would have asked Sliver to look into? Who next?
I do believe I earlier asked him to map out the cameras in the area.
Okay, got that listed.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so I guess that brings up to me. Mike's biggest project for the past week was, in fact, securing their little forward operating base. It's a office in a rented office building nearby. One of those, kind of office park type things where you can rent for businesses. It's got a window facing towards the loading docks at the cover warehouse. It's located on the 2nd floor. And he's gotten some furniture for it, pretty basic furniture, folding chairs, tables, some cots to go in the back. He helped Bones get all his medical equipment moved in. And he would have been trying to keep some, when he had time, do some surveillance on the building, both electronic and physical. And would have asked Sliver for any help he could give him about maybe figuring out how these people communicated back and forth with their Evo handlers. And I think that covers it, but that's a pretty. Oh yes, and actually he did he did pass out some sandwiches and talk to some of the homeless people nearby as well. Mike's actually the one who got the name for the spirit, the Viscountess. But I think that's about everything up until the point when he got shanked.
I think I just made up a word.
Very much so.
But yeah, that was something that I was actually waiting to hear from you that you hadn't established earlier. And I'm glad that you thought of it.
Oh no, that was the whole thing. Why he got the building face or the room facing the way he did.
I know that's what you intended, but you had never specified it, and that's why I'm
Well,
glad
it's
you
been
specified
specified.
it. Okay. Who have we got left? Briar, did you want to take a stab?
I don't usually stab things, but sure, I can talk.
Yes. So you remember now what we had discussed?
I
That-
totally remember. Also,
Okay.
go away, pop up. Devisical. What is that word?
Basically, devices. Like I was thinking mechanical. No, it's not mechanical. Digital. No, not digital. Devisical.
Bicycle.
Okay.
Cool word.
Interesting. Yeah, so Briar did some research, and discovered that she can make a potion, basically, that anyone can ingest the potion, and it basically gives you a concealment when something spirits are trying to sense you. I think that's what it was.
Astral perception. Yeah.
Yes. And
The technical term in game is called masking.
yes. The only issue is that anyone who has magic or is magical, if they take the potion, they would be cut off from their magic.
Oh, it was good.
Sorry, what was that, Twister?
That's the opposite of what Bones need.
Yeah. So Bones and Briar are basically the two who definitely can't take this if they want to be able to use any of their primary abilities. But everyone, and Ace, of course. Ace is also magical. But the rest of you might consider taking this. There is one more thing, though, that you have to mention.
Well, I was also gonna say, so like, Briar herself wouldn't mind not being able to use the potion. She would just use the concealment from her spirit. What was the other thing?
That there are definitely going to be side effects with this elixir, but Briar doesn't know what they are yet.
I forgot about that part.
Would Briar tell everybody this?
Of course, definitely.
And is it natural, made of plants?
Yeah, it's something I can make out of like magical plant components that I've gathered, and I guess other stuff. Briar specializes in like parabotany, making stuff like that, tonic salves out of plant materials and other stuff.
Alright, Cage would be more comfortable with that then.
Are you even going to bring up the mushroom thing, or is that not an option as far as you're concerned?
Oh right, I forgot about that. So another thing Briar can do, and this would benefit her more, but she can diffuse a magical mushroom that she has into their like air system, their ventilation, and what was it? Align is the word. Like align the area, center the area on herself magically.
So
I'm
it's
still-
called a background count, is what the in-game term is.
Yeah, I'm still bad with the game terminology. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. That we're taking. It's a learning experience, but yeah, Briar can magically infuse magical mushrooms so that if the spores are released through the HVAC system, it potentially, not guaranteed, potentially could aspect the magical domain of the facility to give her and her alone an advantage while taking away magic from everyone else.
Around.
Well, and theoretically, anyone else in the facility who shares the same magical tradition as her would also get an advantage.
But it would also give a disadvantage to anyone who doesn't have the same aspect as me, right? Including
Ace
Mike and Ace.
or not Mike, Bones and
Bones,
Ace.
sorry.
So, this all doesn't affect resonance, right?
No, resonance is not magical, so Cage, who's not even aware of the fact that he has resonance, would not be affected.
Okay. Well, I have a weird theory then, but I'll discuss that
So
some
other
other
than
time.
that research, Briar's probably mostly just been maintaining her spirits, you know, making sure they're not pissed off or anything, you know, petting them.
She's doing her holistic routines.
Yes.
Okay, has that been everybody then?
Yep.
Although we're still waiting on the shopping list from Cage, and I think, Ace, you were also writing a list of who you were going to ask certain questions to.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got Mike, Voyne, Ace, and Smoke have all asked something from Sliver. Cage, do you have something you want to ask from Sliver? Briar, is there something you want to ask of Sliver?
I can't really think of anything, to be honest.
Next week's lottery numbers, the launch codes for a Thor shot.
Former one, he cannot do because those numbers come up in the moment. Okay, Kristen's an asshole. Where was I? The latter one, yeah, he could get those if he wanted to, commit suicide.
It's not a big deal. It's just, if it's, the original blueprint, it's just, 500-meter radius of instant death.
Yeah, more he doesn't want to end up on that terrorist watch list. He's probably on a few already. That one in particular, though, no thanks.
That one they tend to solve by calling their own Thor shots in.
Also, I have my sales list ready, so I'll just post it if you don't mind.
By all means. And sorry, how many of these, just basically whoever wants one, you're suggesting
Cage
they
is
buy
kind
one?
of like, he doesn't need it himself. Like, he thinks he's well equipped to handle whatever's in there. But he would advise that for team members if they want a good backup weapon against possible pixies, naga, and well, honestly, for the big guys, when you go that type of thing, you probably are better off going for a more punchy weapon, as it were.
Yes, if there's any infected, we probably want to use fire.
Yeah, hence the incendiary or Molotov cocktails. Or if you want to be very, rich or mean, white phosphorus.
Here, do I
So-
already have some of those?
You might, yes. But between Bones, West End Mike, and Ace, do any of you agree to help Cage with his shopping list?
Let me see.
I don't know if I can.
Well, would Bones have a good negotiation?
I suppose so, actually. Yeah.
You don't need to have the contacts if Cage has. You just need to negotiate a good
Well,
price.
and Bones also has a contact who would be able to get that kind of stuff too.
That's true.
Even better.
We're talking about Jack. No, we're talking.
Demo
talking-
Man.
Okay, so it's not an actual contact.
Yeah, Jack.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Jack
on my
Lantern or
page-
whatever.
Yeah, Jack Lantern, which
Yeah.
is why I didn't think you would talk with the same person.
Yeah, Cage also has that contact.
Yeah, but Cage isn't charming enough to always get what he needs from Jack.
Yep, I figure as such. Also, the Defiance T250 is basically it's just the most available and easy, simple to use shotgun that I could find. So, but any other shotgun would probably be fine as well. Though I would advise against flechette shotguns.
That's pretty much all shotguns.
No,
Like,
no,
well,
not at
in-
all.
In the Shadowrun setting, actually, you have to declare flechette. By default, regular ammo is a slug.
Yeah, there's some why I advise it. Some shotguns are standard with flechettes.
Yes, there are some that list that as their default ammo, but if
Oh,
you
yes,
buy
yes.
regular ammo, you're buying slugs. You have to declare flechette in Chummer.
Yes, but there are a few weapons, including a couple shotguns, that only fire flechette ammo.
That is also true. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. And Cage would advise against those because this is a corp, so they probably are wearing some kind of body armor if we get into a fight. And yeah, something spread based, something you don't have to aim too much. Because both Naga and Pixies obviously can be, well, very fast, very finicky, hard to hit.
Pixies,
specifically-
yes. Naga are huge.
How? I thought they were kind of like Python or Anaconda size.
They're human.
2 to
size.
3 times at minimum the size.
Well, they're still snakes, so they can be probably very fiddly and harder to hit than a human.
But basically, Ace would be asking Cage something, if he knows some smaller weaponry than a shotgun, as he doesn't really have experience with long arms.
So, Cage, do you want to roll your firearms, or did you already have something in mind?
I have something in mind, but I can also roll my firearms. Maybe you'll have a better suggestion than I. Four.
Wow, nice. So, a really great pistol is the Guardian. It is capable of burst fire, which is pretty much unique amongst pistols. It comes with a smart link as part and parcel integral to the design. It's sturdy. It has a great track record, and it's affordable for everything that's in its package. It's not the cheapest pistol on the market, but you get what you pay for and then some. Did you
I
have
believe
something?
Ace does have some cash flowing around.
And Cage, you had something in particular you wanted to suggest?
Well, yes, Cage would suggest like, a bunch of shotguns also come in, sawed-off barrels or even just professionally shortened barrels. And then they're almost like big pistols. Like the,
And there
Def-
is
the
even-
Defiance T250 actually also is available in a short barrel version.
Those are more for concealability. They don't use the pistol skill, but there is a pistol shotgun that's on the market as well. So there is a type of shotgun that uses the pistol skill. I just don't remember what it's called.
I know what's it called in the Payday 2. It's the Judge.
And I remember what it's called in Dark Heresy, but not in Shadowrun.
Honestly,
Remington
one of the
Room
better
Sweeper.
weapons in Payday 2.
That would be the Remington Room Sweeper at the least.
Does it
shot.
say that's the one that uses pistol skill?
Yeah, it's under heavy pistols. It has an 8-shot internal mag, and yeah, you can literally load it with shotgun shells. But as I also pointed out of character, they also do make fletchet rounds for, like, handguns.
Yes, but that's also an option.
Yeah, but as Cage advised, flechette rounds have a tendency to not deal well with armor, and who knows, the pixies might also be armored, so...
Some Dragon's Breath will probably do the trick.
Well, yes, if you go, I made the most, since we are in England, I made suggestions that that have probably a low restriction level, so you can probably get them even on the English market. But yeah, if you want to go brutal and look for it, yeah, you can go white phosphorus, dragon rounds, whatever.
Just show up with a flamethrower. It's an underground bunker.
Well, yes, that would be ideal. Also, not very subtle, and also have to memorize. We do also have to go through those tunnels. So, if you burn too much, you might end up burning yourself.
So perhaps there is something else Cage would consider then. Is he's thought about offense a great deal. What about defense? Does he care?
I suppose, yes, he could think about defense for the smaller fellows. Once again, he's pretty convinced he is well equipped to handle whatever that facility could throw at him until he faced the spirits, but that comes later.
Well, something to remember is when dealing with mages, fire, electricity, ice, acid, these are all sorts of things that they can conjure out of thin air. So it tends to be helpful to have specialized armor that can protect you from such elemental attacks. Or, you know, just be-
Pixies are very magical creatures, so yeah, maybe a few insulation vests or something he would advise.
Okay, and what does Cage want to ask for Sliver to collect information of?
Is this before or after the...
This will be before.
Alright. Can I have a bit to think about that?
Sure. Abraxas, have you given any thought to what Briar might ask?
I honestly just don't really know what to go on. Like I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. Well, again, thinking in the context of a Dungeons and Dragons dungeon, what kind of information would you want to know in advance before venturing into that dungeon? Shall I give you some time to think on that?
Like where there are people, where the guards are, and what their patrol routes are. But I feel like somebody already got that information.
Yeah, that's already on the docket.
I might have an idea. Structural weaknesses. Like, say, what walls would I have to blow up to collapse something? That type of thing.
He can try to get that kind of information as well, but that's not really the sort of thing his info sortilege will get him. That's the sort of thing that he'll have to conjure up a tutor sprite who is an expert on engineering and architecture and ask that sprite for information. But I believe Voin already gave that information with her tactical analysis, is that she took a look at the map and said, all right, well, here are some structural weak spots that we can exploit. Here are some walls that we might be able to breach, depending. Like, again, this map that you have is outdated information. If that map is accurate, then Voin has good intel for you. If that map is not up to date, we'll need a more up to date map.
Oh, I actually just figured out a better one. Can he locate the armory within the facility? If it
Already
has
been
one.
done. That's again,
damn
Voin's got that, and part of her battle plan was, because of where the armory is located, we'll probably want to either infiltrate or like either sneaky infiltrate or social infiltrate, get our heavy hitters in position at security HQ so that they can secure the armory or destroy the armory when the time comes to actually attack. So, you know, if you convince the Evo people that Cage is there as a security overview officer, like he's here to do a checklist to make sure their inventory is correct, and then he's in the armory when the time comes, that's a potential option.
Okay.
Or if you're being stealthy, you know, have Cage sneak his way into the armory before everybody starts their attack.
Or
Okay.
most likely in this case, it would be Folk doing the infiltrating.
Well, again, it really depends. If the whole team is going to try and sneak, if the whole team is going to try and be social, if you're going to go 50-50, or if you're just going to say fuck it and go guns blazing from the surface.
Anyway,
Have we-
okay, you inspired another idea in me. A list of names names and maybe background info on important Evo officers in the London area.
It's likely a massive list. My question is, do we know how they get in and out? Do we have a code? Are we able to obtain at any point a pass to duplicate and then be able to bypass the door completely? Is that doable?
So, what's happened up to this point?
Mhm.
Wait a minute. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's 7 of you. My mistake. Right. So we don't yet know what's inside that warehouse.
Okay.
It's very likely that there is all sorts of security measures. Just, you know, based on Voin's tactical analysis, because she's studied these sort of things before, chances are good that there's probably biological passcodes and possibly even magical security measures to make sure that anyone who comes into the facility is meant to come
Is
into this
intended for it.
facility. However, because this is not a self-sufficient facility, there are deliveries.
I do recall.
Okay.
On a side note, you never asked me what I was doing for the week.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I guess we should
you
square that
skipped
up.
me- You skipped me for everything.
Okay. So Twister, what's Bones doing?
Primarily, he's going to be caretaking for Mike, keeping the.
Oh, no. This is the week before that happens.
Oh. Primarily, assisting with charismatic checks for speaking with contacts and speaking with the homeless in the area, keeping Watcher spirits up to investigate passage, and then probably trying to convince Slither to try to track down any comlinks. Because here's the thing: are the deliveries being made into this warehouse, or are they made at a different location and brought in?
See, that hasn't been figured out yet.
Okay,
And
then that's the question.
And Sliver has been monitoring the airways, but he's been focusing on other things as priorities.
Okay, do we have a hacker for this mission?
Sliver is a technomancer.
Oh, okay, but okay.
So he will also be going in with you.
Yes,
as part of the.
I
Okay.
recall.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, the first priority is the deliveries, due to the fact of if either they are made into the complex, which is our inn, or people exit the complex and obtain the items, which then becomes our inn, because they have to open a door at some point to do it. And if the entry Bones wants to know the delivery schedule and procedure, that's close enough.
And anything else during the week?
I believe that I'm supposed to be obtaining drugs and components. I believe I read that.
Compounds was the word
Compounds,
that I put, but
components.
that's up to you if you think there's any particular drugs or compounds that would be helpful, like industrial strength acid. That's the sort of thing a doctor might get their hands on.
Of course. Okay, like hydrochlorine.
Does anyone on the team want the doctor to get a hold of any particular drugs or compounds?
I would say it's a little early to know what we need.
I don't think we'll need exactly compounds, but something that Smoke is probably going to think of. More gear that we might need. I think himself and Durandal have chemical gas masks and all.
Maybe get some Naga venom, Naga anti-venom.
Good call.
For one, just in case there's traps that deal with knockout gas and all that. But then there's also the option of us using them instead. I remember that Smoke got one for the mission with dealing with the magical drugs. It just isn't on his character sheet at the moment.
Okay, since we jumped around a bit, was there anybody I missed or we didn't finish with?
Well, I was gonna say something. So wait, what's this about a doctor? Who's a doctor?
Bones is a doctor.
Oh,
Hello,
yes,
hello,
he's
hello.
right.
He's a magician and a doctor.
Damn it,
that's right.
Abraxas, he's a doctor, not a magician. Oh, he's also a magician, never mind.
Amazing. So is this stuff that we'd be getting like for free, or are we paying for it? Because I could probably use like bases for the potions, like witch hazel or something might be useful.
Yeah, it really depends on how generous Bone wants to be, or if you guys plan to steal this stuff. Otherwise, yeah, you have to pay for it.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
The Nega antivenom is on the list. Probably hydrochloric acid, which can eat through metal fairly quickly, but we need something. Do we have any version of an EMP? Due to the fact if you wipe out the magnetic force, maglock should stop working.
We do not presently have a EMP detonatable. However, if anyone asks, Sliver will admit that he might have the ability, if he concentrates hard enough,
To produce a similar effect.
yeah. But
Good.
But he hasn't done it in a really long time because it gives him a serious headache, and he sometimes passes out. So a grenade might be better, or a
Yeah.
Herf gun. Herf guns are good.
Yeah,
I can't remember the top of the head, but okay.
Luke's gonna kindly
It's gonna
get
kindly what?
away from EMP grenades. He can deal with maglocks,
Okay.
provided
Can you
he
deal
can
with
get to a
cameras?
key code.
Can you deal with drones? It's more than just the maglock that I figured.
Well, when it comes to cameras, there is such a thing as a camera burner. Basically, it's a high-powered laser that burns
Yeah,
out. The
it'll burn out the
cameras.
lens.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Do we have one of those?
No, we
We
do
can
not.
acquire one.
Okay. So,
There is also grenades that also burns out cameras.
yeah. Now, my question is, if you had someone under invisibility, and then they walked around with that camera, with the camera burner with a high-powered laser, would it affect the cameras? Would that stop them from being invisible? So, two separate questions.
Ooh, that is actually a really. It depends on what kind of invisibility is used.
Improved invisibility.
Then no, then the cameras would not be affected because the thing emitting the lasers is also invisible. Ergo, the lasers are invisible.
So the heat would not.
Is it the heat or is it?
Oh, it'd be the heat. It burns it out.
Okay, I thought it was. That is a tricky question because it is light-based energy,
Yeah,
and
it's-
the
what
improved
you're talking about?
invisibility spell warps light so that
It's unviewable, but if here's the thing: does it modify ultraviolet rays, which are not viewable?
Sorry,
Is
I
it a-
wasn't listening. But what were you talking about? Something about infrared?
Improved invisibility combined with a device that emits a very high-powered ultraviolet ray that is strong enough that it bleeds into the light spectrum, that burns out cameras that it points into by damaging the internal components of it. So basically, you can destroy a camera with this very small
Unless
device.
the camera has infrared, you know.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! The
It'll-
question is, what does magic do in this situation?
it-
To which I'm deciding, depending on the force of the spell. So a very high force will
also warp it.
disrupt the ultraviolet light as well. Low quality force, the camera burner will effectively work as intended.
Do we know the approximate force difference?
No, because none of you have experimented with this in character yet.
All right. Well, this, I guess, overall is not knowledge that I'd have. So, first step is to get this laser, the camera burner, and then the second step is to cast improved invisibility on myself, get a burner phone that has, or a burner camera of some sort, make use of it, camera burner, and then a spare camera to test the theory on. Start top down.
Magic.
Sounds like Bones is a science man.
Magic.
Ah! Damn it, Map Jules.
I'm a doctor.
Oh, if you want to do a line break, Frosty, you have to do it the HTML one. That.
I'll
Yeah,
just
open
put it in the
VR.
TeamSpeak.
Okay.
All right. I think Abraxas, you were saying something though and got cut off.
Was I?
I'm not sure. I'm asking. I know it happens quite frequently at our Star Trek game, so I just want to be conscious of it here.
I've already forgotten.
At which point I shake my fist. And sorry, what is this magic motherfucker thing? What?
Well, we were just all talking theory about magic and what it can do and everything. And yeah,
What is this even from?
Your Highness. It's a good stoner comedy. I recommend it, especially if you're also into D&D and all that type of thing.
So yeah, the last thing I was saying was that I was just asking about bases for the potions that I was gonna make. Something like witch hazel might maybe make a good base. I don't know how. Yeah, I'm just saying things.
And did you come up with what you want from Sliver yet?
Yeah,
No, Abraxas.
I know.
Oh.
You just also haven't asked me. We have discussed it in private.
I thought you wanted the delivery schedule and procedure for Bones.
Oh, I thought that was related to the job and so wasn't considered attached. I thought.
No, that's what I'm asking. Things
Gotcha.
for the
Yep.
job, and then payment that can be sent privately.
Okay.
So, Abraxas?
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you like to request one of the other players gets your question then?
Sure.
Which one of those players? Or do you want them to battle royale for it?
Don't pick me, I'm not smart.
You're smarter than you give yourself credit.
Maybe we could just hold it in reserve at this point.
Sorry, did you say ace?
No, I like the idea of holding it in reserve. Or like, I was gonna say they could draw straws, but
Well, not going to get held in reserve because this is, like I said, up to this point, I'm not allowing any more retcons. So get it now, get it while you can. So how do we draw straws with Map Tool?
roll a d6 and assign a number to each person, because there's 7 people, right?
Can I propose an alternative?
What's your alternative?
We all ask a question and then we vote on what's the best question.
Or, well, first, Briar or Abraxas can choose one of those questions, and if she still can't
There.
decide, then we'll vote. So, anyone who has another question, go ahead and throw it up.
Possible security measures.
Voine's already handled that. Map and security keys would be two separate things.
Yeah, I mentioned security keys, but security keys is very possible that we'll only get the keys for one lock or one set of lock, and we won't be able to answer the key for the magical locks. Won't be able to answer the key for the biometrical locks. Won't be able to answer the key for security guard lock.
Oh, Boyne already. What I mean is, drones and other mechanical security measures.
Do we have any idea how old the map that we have is?
Yes, it was the original preliminary blueprint for the facility before it was even approved for construction.
Then yes, if we can get an updated map, that's what I'd like.
My suggestion is if we can somehow get our hands on a crew log, if we can tell who's within there.
Actually, I realized that there is something Briar forgot to mention, and it ties into what I think might be the best question to ask. We didn't bring up divinations, Briar did.
Right, sorry, there was the divinations. So the divinations established that there were 3 individuals who would potentially be the path to access the black site. 2 of them were connected to one another, and the third was separate from those 2. Of the 2 that were connected, one had, I believe it was hair like a smoldering fire or something like that. A young... Or... shit. What? Let me see if I can pull this up. I had it written out in a log here.
I mean, the only reason I didn't bring that up was because I thought we already went over that. Like,
But what Desperado mentioned is that now that you have that divination, there's maybe something you could ask Sliver related to that.
like where we would find those people?
Potentially, maybe.
There are a number of things. The point is basically, if this is electronic divination, well, 2 divinations overlapping each other gives us a lot of info. Let's double check exactly what the divination revealed, and then we'll...
Okay. So, Briar confirmed that it's the right location. The site is not self-sufficient, and that to enter the black site and proceed down the path to their objective with minimal pain and suffering, it is through the liberation of 1 or 2 people who are in the black site, but presumably want out. One of the 3 is alone and seeks destruction of the place. They are young and slender, but lean and precise. They came as an enemy disguised as a child of progress. The other 2 have heads of fire, but the fires are different. One rages, short like a fuse. The other smolders like ashes. They want liberation, freedom from slavery. With more definitive, from what she saw, she could explain that the first person was human, possibly an elf, looked like they had a teenage body, delicate but sharp features, coiffed hair that was steel blue. The second person was a dwarf, definitely, stout and muscular. They had a strong beard and long hair with streaks of gray. The third person was human, possibly a tall dwarf, frail-looking body, hiding wiry strength. They had matted, poofy hair. that was the precise details of the divination.
So there are 3 people in that black site who apparently want out. This is the sort of thing that perhaps Sliver could look into. Are there prisoners? Are there indentured servants? Or are there just people who signed a contract and want to get out of it?
Missing people?
You recall, Braxis, which question would Briar want answered?
Updated map. The 3 telemetry. I don't know what it's called. Individuals. Or what was the other questions? Or is it in map tools?
I mean, I still think the updated map would be the most useful because we can. I mean, the problem with an updated map is that there may not even be any changes, but I mean, what's really the likelihood that this facility hasn't been altered since it was originally developed as a concept?
Especially if they have prisoners, slim to none.
And we could gain like tactical insight with the updated map. Whereas there's no guarantee that we would even be able to get enough information to lead us directly to any of these 3 people that I got from the divination.
Bear in mind that you did phrase your question in that divination with a very particular phrasing. For the least pain and suffering for the team. But that's just me playing devil's advocate. It's your call.
I don't really understand what the significance of that would be in relation to this.
So the map is great for a lot of reasons. Which, if you go in guns blazing, then yeah, the map will definitely help. But if these 3 people can help you get your objective with minimal pain and suffering, that suggests combat potentially wouldn't even be necessary at all.
I mean, the map would also be useful if we go in sneakily too, because then we'll know where to go, theoretically. I wasn't really thinking that the map would be useful if we're gonna go in fighting.
Theoretically, one of the 3 can give us the map on their own. They were a new source of information that we could potentially get the map. Or, just have them directly email us the information that they want in exchange for us getting them out somehow. As in, they walk out the building and then we cover their backs as they continue running.
But of course, the map itself, there's no guarantee you can even get in contact with these people before going into the facility. So,
Also, there's no guarantee that we will find any sort of updated map. So, it's a coin flip.
Yeah, it's just a coin flip. So which way do you want to flip this coin?
No, with the 1d2.
You want me to go get a coin? I have a perfect flipping coin.
I have a oh god, what are they called? Munchkin. I have a Munchkin coin.
We also have a dice roller.
But yeah, no, I noticed Abraxas was apparently typing something. What was your
Yep.
answer, Abraxas?
I haven't been typing at all, but
Oh.
I okay. I mean, I think Briar would. It comes down to this. Briar isn't. Briar would probably just want the map.
She isn't confident enough in her divination to waste Sliver's time. Is that the way to put it?
Something like that. She isn't confident enough in, dealing with people that to think that the map. She's used to pieces of paper, not people.
Well, this is an old map if it's on the paper.
Looks like Bones is our winner. God damn. And Briar almost got like the closest to the potential glitch.
Which
Did I
admittedly is
roll
still
for anything?
4 away.
No, Frosty, did you not see the rolls? Frosty's usually the first one to lose connection.
No, I can see the rolls.
Oh, so who asked? I thought someone asked.
Twister did.
Oh, Twister, you don't see the rolls?
Oh no, I stepped away. I just stepped a long wire.
Did they update now, or are
No,
you
no,
still...
no, I see them. I stepped
Oh.
away.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I was saying that it looks like Bones got the best results, and that Briar got the theoretically closest to a glitch, though obviously not a glitch.
Mm-hmm.
Glitch.
Okay. I think we should take a quick break at this point. Let's say 15 minutes, and then we'll come back for just roughly an hour before wrapping up. We're back, and you can have that debate when we're done, and I'm out of here. Basically, I said it to troll you. But anyway, so in regards to all the things you asked Sliver, the answers you will receive in regards to the sewer maps. Sliver will say, got some good looking ones, but something isn't adding up. The resonance keeps indicating that there's something at Sweetest Industries database, which will shed some light on this, but their matrix security is almost as scary as Evo's itself. Regarding the camera map, the resonance led me to all the nodes I need to hack, so I can basically just have eyes on the entire area. I can get on that task if you people want it to be as a priority, but it will take some time to spoof that many cameras. We're talking a couple hundred in a 2-block radius. Evo people in the area. This name keeps coming up in a few of my searches. Burnton Dawsbury. I took the risk and I accessed Evo's employee network and found something interesting. He's apparently assigned to a property in this area which doesn't exist in reality. It's just an empty field that is currently being decontaminated before any new construction takes place. He could be the groundskeeper, possibly, but I doubt it with his employment record and his resume. The guy should be leading an entire ecology's maintenance team. And I bet he is, if you know what I mean. Here's a photo of him. And he will share a photo with the group that is a dwarf, and it will match the dwarf that Briar saw in her divination. The Evo to Black Site communication. They use poor sod who's been mind cleansed. They chip him with encrypted intel deliveries, and he gets concealed by magic or something. Then literally walks out of the facility whenever they need to send a report. Classic memory caps data courier. We might be able to intercept him, but I bet they have him chipped with GPS and other anti-tampering cyberware. Not to mention he's likely totally loyal to Evo through brainwashing. Evo big shots connected to the site. All of them. Even Buttercup. Looks like this place has something which Evo considers top priority going on. None of them are in London right now, as far as I could tell, but then their whereabouts tend to be very secure. The delivery schedule and procedure: drones. They deliver everything by automated drone vehicles covered in chameleon coatings and magically invisible. They get sent out from an ultra-secure warehouse facility just south of London, which sends out supplies to all of Evo's official and unofficial sites in London and area. Honestly, seems like a potential security flaw for their whole black site thing. Could get them in a lot of trouble if someone traced those trucks back to Evo's warehouse. Really sloppy of them, honestly. And the most up-to-date map, the Resonance tells me that the map we seek is buried deep in an ultra-secure node. If we want to get to it, it's probably going to take all my skill and effort, and I won't be of much use to anyone else for a few days, at the very least. And the odds of failure are high. So, no, Briar, the dwarf is not the one who wants the facility destroyed. The dwarf is the one that's paired with the other person. The one who wants the facility destroyed is the apparent teenager with steel blue hair. Does anyone want to drag any of these into a full-blown conversation?
So, this dwarf, were you saying that he first used to work for Evo and then he disappeared?
No. He's still on. He is on the books. He exists, and he is working in the abandoned field, basically 2 doors down from the warehouse.
Right.
So, thing is, we've been watching that area for a week now. I haven't seen any dwarves coming and going on that field, have you?
And even if we did, it sounds like he is way overqualified to be sitting there and guarding a empty field.
Exactly.
Could he be there, but in the astral and not the physical realm?
Bones, you seen anything? No, you haven't.
No. That's not his voice. What am I doing?
Maybe that's his astral spirit's voice.
I've seen nothing.
Sorry, things got quiet. Was someone else saying something?
Sorry, there's actually a lot of crackling on my end for because of packages getting thrown away.
Well, see, here's one option that immediately opens up is Evo. If Evo has a single warehouse basically serving their supplies for all of London, that place is going to have incredibly porous security, and yet they're sending their supplies out from there.
It's a single facility that covers every single one. It'll have the strongest security out of any complex, I'd imagine.
I'm not arguing that, but it will be porous because there's just too much coming and going for anybody to keep track of.
Oh, no. Basically, what the intel suggests is that anything that comes in is basically quarantined and scrutinized before it goes back out.
Including the people?
It's basically automated other than trusted spiders that basically operate the whole facility from the Matrix.
Ah, okay. So not a whole lot of people coming and going.
Yeah, didn't get any information on personnel rotations at the Black Site. That wasn't something that I had specifically looked for yet.
And something's definitely telling me with Oliver's mention of how Sweetest Industries database has something towards the sewer maps.
Out of character, Mike, you should remember that coming up. You were on that job.
Sweetest Industries.
I'm pointing to him.
Ah, that's right. That's his company, isn't it? And am I the only one on here that was there?
Yeah.
Holy crap, I am.
Yes, you are. So.
So yes, with the flashback system that he still hasn't replaced, when the word Swedish Industries or Sweetest Industries comes up, it will trigger the memory. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, I know a thing or two about them, and well, let's just say there's a reason their security is that tight.
Hello, welcome to Swedish Industries.
No, these guys strike me more as the kind that if you ask too many questions, your body might end up floating in the Thames.
No. They're in charge of the sewers, so they don't want to pollute the Thames. They're in charge of keeping it clean.
So you might end up floating in the sewers that take the Thames.
No, you'll end up recycled.
The point is, this guy, the guy who heads that company, is very well connected due to simply handling what we might call the secret scut work for a whole bunch of people. And also, owning a lot of the companies that do the not-so-secret scut work.
Just an OC question. This was the guy that basically got us the whole whiskey and the carbon copy mission, right?
Rather, he wanted someone else on the job, and his henchmen screwed it up and got you guys on the job.
But
Okay,
Mr.
yeah,
Newcomb was
then I
quite
do know the
satisfied
character.
with.
I wouldn't say he was satisfied.
So, what was that, Mike?
I was good. But Mr. Newcomb was quite satisfied with the outcome of that. But yeah, he's. Let's just say that if his company's involved, knowing the sewer connections to a black site is right up their alley, and probably just the start of interesting things they know.
Well, just to make it quick and easy for all of you, it's implied that Newcomb built the sewer network to accommodate the black site, but has kept that information off the official maps.
I could try getting in contact with him and seeing if he'd be willing to do me a favor after that job, but oof, that's gonna be a stretch even
Risky.
for someone as charming as me.
That's risky.
You
That
are
as well.
very charming, Mike. Though your girlfriend is a bit insistent.
Consistent, insane. What's the difference?
Yeah, keep doing this job for a while, you'll learn. If she's your definition of insane, let me introduce you to a couple of runners I've had to work with over the years, if I can still find them.
Sanity is for the
User in
week
your channel is
and the
recording.
weekend. I mean, what?
Hello there.
Welcome, Abobob.
Fuck you, Tations, Bob.
I hope you're feeling a bit better.
But yeah, going to ask this fellow such your specific questions like, well, the sewers around this area might raise the flags. Might get a little bit dangerous.
So Ace is thinking maybe not to ask about the sewers after all?
No, I'm not saying that. We shouldn't. I'm just bringing up the probably obvious, but still.
It would probably be easiest for us to simply make our own maps, especially since with what Sliver did found, we can probably narrow down the location. You know, we find the parts of the map that are all matching up and adding up, and then we look where they aren't.
I mean, it's a good thing to have that as a backup if we really need that. Might be able
Like
to
I
get
said, that's
something,
a
but
high risk, high reward route. Not saying I
Yes.
won't do it, but yeah, that's not one I'm going to do without a night to sleep on it.
no, I'm not suggesting that.
Burton Dawsbury, did you find out any information on where he's like staying when he's not supposedly working?
Oh, he's supposed to apparently be in this building that doesn't actually exist on the empty lot.
Ah, well then in that case, he's almost certainly in the supposedly abandoned building on the not so empty lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a little more info that I got on him, but I don't know how relevant it really is, but I'll share it anyway. Apparently, he's got a new daughter. Basically, according to my timeline here, he would have gone underground with this facility at the same time that she would have been like just a couple months old. And
How
according
long was this
to
ago?
these 5 years. So according to these logs, he's never been out of the facility.
That must be
So
tough,
he-
not seeing your own daughter for 5 years, for the first 5 years of her life.
Yeah,
I was
and-
That might be the reason why. He
I was
brought up
thinking
by the
maybe.
divination.
Sorry.
Frosty, you were saying?
I said that might be the reason why he was brought up by the divination. That's using that sort of thing tends to breed anger and frustration and grudge towards the company you're working for.
Yeah, potentially. But he is paid exceptionally well for his position. And it does seem that a lot of that money is actually going towards the care of his daughter. And it seems that his child's mother was blacklisted by Evo. I did not get to the details of why or how on that.
You have a picture of him, I assume? And we probably then see this guy.
Well, still, with the kind of resume that it sounds like this guy has, he could get another job that would still pay quite well. That wouldn't require him to not see his own child and potentially the mother thereof, because I doubt she's exactly getting visits there either if she's been blacklisted.
So he must be stuck there for some reason.
They stuck there because it's a black site. There's only two ways you leave a place like that: with a extraction
ends or
team
he
or
ends.
body bag. Yeah.
Well, and to be sure that this guy, his resume, like I said, if he isn't running that place maintenance up, like if he's not the chief of maintenance, then he's not getting like based on what he's getting paid and based on his resume, he is the chief of maintenance. That's just my professional opinion. If he isn't, then damn, that's another reason to be pissed off. But I mean, then again, he's getting paid way more than he needs to be.
Yeah, but that doesn't really pay for the well, spending time with your family. Some things are more valuable than money, I would say.
Yes, that's very, very true.
I am
It's
thinking.
happened only once.
I mean, both Breyer and Durandal look pretty young. Maybe they could act a little bit younger and maybe impersonate his daughter if he hasn't seen them since she was born.
Impersonate his
5
5-year-old
years
daughter.
younger is a lot younger than we need.
Yeah, I'll make this point. His daughter is registered as a dwarf metatype, just like he is, whereas Breyer and Durandal look like human children.
Would you really want to try and deceive this person if we would see him? I mean,
But more to the point, he'd probably, in exchange for a quote-unquote free extraction.
All right, so everyone roll a auditory perception who might be in the same room as Voin.
Depends on which room she's in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, Durandal, would you be in Mike's medical room? Yes. So anyone else who's in the same room as Mike.
well, I don't know where would we
What was that, Frosty?
convene. Sorry, I was thinking the word.
Oh, convene? Well, that's just it. This is Shadowrun. Sliver hasn't met any of you in person other than the initial meeting. So he's just doing this teleconference style.
I'm just going to say out.
Holy crap, I think she might actually get away with this.
Maybe.
Is audio perception different than normal perception?
So perception as a skill represents all of your senses, but you can have augmentation to boost certain senses. And I do believe Briar has +3 to both her visual and her auditory senses based on the implants she had before she awakened. And of course it's Ace who hears this, because he seems to have a special rapport with Durandal. Mike, you'll at least get, like, not much older than 5, but you missed the I am part. And anyone who got 2 hits basically just hears her mumbling.
Well, Mike got 3.
Yeah, and screw your passive perception there, Tarek.
Well, this is massive.
But like I said, Mike, you will hear not much older than 5, but you missed the first I am.
Okay.
Good thing Ace has kinesics and cool resolve, so there won't be that raised eyebrow.
That
It's an
puts the
internal
whole
raised eyebrow.
swimming pool situation in different context. But anyway, did anyone else have anything else to say about Dawsbury?
When I did my, so I'm speaking in character. I'm gonna mention that when I did my
Divination?
divination, that's the word. I discovered that there's another individual who's in a similar situation to him, who may or may not be connected to him. And I'm gonna ask Sliver if he got any pings on other individuals working at the black site that might also have, or might be in a similar job maybe as our dude.
Well, yeah, actually, it's kind of funny you bring that up. The way resonance work, I guess, is kind of like the way magic works. I don't really know. Basically, I don't like doing info sortilege because I like to be in control of myself. But when I do this info sortilege thing, basically resonance takes me over and guides me to things. And it's kind of unsettling. But I mean, this job's important enough that I'm going to deal with the discomfort and I'm going to do what I need to do. But I don't know, resonance, it kept, every time it brought me to Dawsbury, there was 4 other basically subject headers that kept coming up. And those 4 were somebody else's file. What was her name? Fiona Vendel, and he'll pull up the file and he'll share it. And this one is roll another memory roll, Briar.
So this is not the same woman as the blacklisted mother of his daughter?
No, she's just a brand new hire, basically. She hasn't even been assigned anywhere yet, but for some reason, every time I came across his name, the resonance would guide me towards her name as well. Briar, she is the other person.
And holy hell, 9 hits on 14 dice.
Yes, this is definitely the other person. My divination signaled to me.
And on top of that, in reflection, you will realize the smoldering kind of smokiness that you saw in her wasn't her hair or her personality. She's a smoker.
As in tobacco products?
Soy tobacco imitation, but yes.
Interesting. Okay. Is that relevant in some way that I'm probably not familiar with?
Well, if the rest of the team informed you, one of the crazy people, homeless people, mentioned that they saw a beautiful young woman smoking at the warehouse. But everyone else told that homeless person, no, you're crazy. The only person who's at the warehouse is the Viscountess. And this person's like, no, I've seen a beautiful woman smoking at the warehouse. And everyone's just like, no, you're crazy. So, Ace, Mike, Bones.
Yeah,
I've made that as a,
well, would we,
common
looking
knowledge.
at this picture, see her as a beautiful woman?
Well, I mean, maybe to a homeless person, but I mean, she's attractive, but maybe a bit awkward and oblong shaped. She almost looks like she could be a dwarf, a very skinny dwarf. But according to the file that Sliver pulled up, she's human.
And I agree with Briar.
All in the eye of the beholder, I would.
But yeah, if basically if Briar mentions smoking, wait, I think one of the homeless people said that he saw a woman smoking outside that warehouse every so often. Man,
Yeah.
would they actually take that risk to send a black site employee topside just to light up?
Maybe
something to
she's
look
a
into.
fuck.
Yeah, they definitely do not approve of that kind of activity. If she's going topside, she's doing that against orders. But I mean, that doesn't I shouldn't be trusting Evo intel, I guess. But according to this, she's brand new. Why the hell would they put her on a black site? I mean, wait a minute. And he starts reviewing the file a little bit more. He's like, oh, okay. Well, she doesn't have any friends or family, so that kind of puts her all right. And well, she was in the top 5% of her class. Well, shit. Okay, maybe she is the type they'd hire for this.
What is a child weapon doing there?
So Voin will say, "Is she a child weapon?" And Sliver will be like, "What?"
Is that like a plastic sword?
Durandal will say nothing. Meanwhile, Sliver's filing that away as something to research later.
Like a
You said there
child
were some
soldier?
other.
She's in her 20s. She might be young, but she's not that young.
Yeah, but she might have been.
No. According to these files, she's basically she was born and raised within the Evo Corporation, but her parents are both deceased of a. Basically, they they were low-end wage slaves, and they couldn't make ends meet, and they basically paid to keep her alive to the detriment of their own lives.
Yeah, actually, corporate citizen, prodigy, no friends or family. Yeah, this really does sound like the kind of person that they'd recruit for something like this.
Still, if she goes against orders, it sounds like she might be the weak chain.
Oh,
Or weak link of the chain, I think the expression is.
Oh,
Maybe
she
she's
100%
good enough to be
is.
quote unquote rewarded for to get outside of it. Who knows?
if I may. Smoke would ask Sliver, what kind of class?
Sorry, what?
You said she was in the top 5% of her class.
Oh, as
she have a special
Evo
training?
security personnel. Basically, she was put through the menial training to be a security guard for Evo.
And obviously excelled at it.
Well, I mean, considering the bar for success to be a security guard is so low at Evo, I mean, other corporations put security guards in higher wage brackets. Evo tends to rely more on esoteric security measures. So human security tends to just be meat shields.
Well, you said there were a couple other topics that came up.
Oh yeah, no. So Ares, like Ares macro technology, like every time I got to Dawsbury, it wasn't connected to him so much as it was tangential to him. I'm not sure I can really explain it without, you guys being technomancers, but like the residents thought it was important to remind me of Ares constantly, and especially when I was doing something on well, not just Dawsbury, but I mean, it's hard to explain. Suffice to say, I think whatever Evo's doing at this place, Ares is involved somehow, either as an ally, as an enemy, or maybe they're the ones getting experimented on in the black site. I don't know.
Well, given the typical corporate relations between Evo and Ares, I wouldn't bet on the first one. On the other hand, if it is the first one, that would be a hell of a reason for it to be a black site.
Yeah, no.
Could. Sorry, what is Ares exactly?
Ares Macro Technology is based out of Boston. No, not Boston. Oh no, is it Boston?
Atlanta, I think. Or
It's a U.S. mega corporation that specializes in guns and good old mom and pa apple pie America. At least that's what their marketing brand is. But they are the mega corporation that has managed to make their money based on military conquest. Indirectly, like basically they supply so many weapons to so many countries. They have the second leading space program. They have private security companies like Knight Errant is their big one. They have pretty much cornered the market on bug insect extermination, which is a huge source of income. So yeah, they're a very bloody corporation without going into as technology form of bloody.
and
They make and sell like 2/3 of the global use of arms and ammunition. I mean, there's a number of countries who can't rebel against Ares because Ares knows exactly how many of everything they actually have.
by bug, VT probably means bug spirits. So evil.
Yes, insect spirits.
Yeah.
Basically,
exterminating bugs is not that important, but exterminating bug spirits very important.
Yes, so the insect spirits are invaders from the magical dimensions that take over a human body and transform it into a giant insect spirit body, flesh form thing, and spread like, insects do in the real world.
Given Briar's background, she may actually have the knowledge skills to know a thing or two about insect spirits.
Which is why I thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah, no, the differentiation was definitely needed. I was definitely thinking you meant like bed bugs or something.
Well, they probably do that too, actually. They probably specialize in pesticides as one of their many methods.
Pesticides. Now powerful enough to kill any bugs or humans. Elves. Or any other.
We just took the military grade nerve agent and diluted it down a little.
Well, once it can kill dragons, then you got yourself a real winner.
Nothing kills dragons.
Well, except for the entire Aztec technology military.
And even that's a little fuzzy.
Oh no, they definitely killed that dragon.
They killed a dragon.
They did.
Okay. Well, it took a lot of work, though.
It finally happened in like 2073, and it took like their whole military to do it.
So you're saying that Ares, if they wanted, they would have a decent chance if they wanted to kill a dragon.
Potentially, yeah. But the guy who runs the company, Damian Knight, he's
a
smart
dragon.
enough not to piss off dragons. At least not directly.
Oh, he's not a dragon?
No, he's
No.
a human.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, he was part of the team that killed the AI Deus. Deus? Deus.
Deals.
Yes.
Yeah. And basically he made his fortune off of that. Because when he killed that AI, he had access to all kinds of files. I might be remembering incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure that's how it happened.
Well, anyway, the point is, the big takeaway is Ares is pretty much the military megacorp, and Evo is pretty much the hippie megacorp insofar as any of them are. They don't get along normally.
Well, they're both the ones doing space programs, whereas Ares' space program is to put weapon satellites in orbit. Evo's space program is to colonize Mars.
Yeah, again, that they have lots of similar interests, but come at it from such completely opposite directions that they don't get along often.
So Evo is Mars and I already forgot. Ares is Thor.
Well, except Mars is also the god of war. So anyway,
I think he meant in terms of Thor shot satellites.
yes. But
Yeah, that was the joke.
the other thing that Sliver will say came up numerous times were these two.
What?
Yeah, so apparently
Is that a
there's...
gorilla?
Yeah, no, I do not have access to the details of his file, other than to say, beyond the word redacted showing up a lot, Borba is a silverback gorilla who apparently has the intellect of a human being and is an engineer. And then Vokut is an albino Naga who, if his file photo is anything to go by, has a bizarre sense of humor. That is a red sweater with green polka dots, heart-shaped polka dots.
I didn't see that. That's
Durandal says,
unusual.
Durandal says, "Is this a black site or a zoo?" To which Silver will say, "Well, it's an Evo black site."
A little bit of both.
Who knows what they do down there?
So, did you find any details on Vakut?
No, pretty much both Vokut and Borba's files are in a more secure database. The only information I have is that they're employees of Evo. And like I said, Naga and a gorilla that has human intellect. So I'm guessing shapeshifter, I guess.
Or a possible test.
Voin says, "Is it a petting zoo, or should we bring our heavier artillery?" To which Sliver says, "Well, if those two are part of security, then yeah, heavy artillery would be advised. But I mean, considering Borba's record says he's an engineer, and Vokot doesn't say what position Vokot has, but given the sweater, I'm guessing HR."
Interesting. And they are somehow linked to Osbury?
Well, they're linked to what the resonance tries to tell me Dawsbury is. I mean, like, it's hard to explain, but
But there's some sort of link. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to understand
yes.
myself. This
yes, yeah.
resonance thing you have.
West End Mike,
Said-
sorry, go ahead, Frosty.
As you said, this is something that I haven't personally before heard. I'm just trying to understand it myself.
Right. But yeah, West End Mike, what's that judge intention about?
He laughed at what Durendal said, and then I'm trying to figure out if he realizes that she intentionally made a joke rather than just being Durendal. Which I'm guessing with 6 hits, even as hard to read as she is.
So now that we have this new intel, what does the team want Sliver to dedicate his time to?
I would suggest that he doesn't need to cover all the cameras, but at least some of the cameras looking at the warehouse. If we can find you're a Vendel person smoking and confirm that might be our way in.
Yeah, I agree with Ace there. I think she might be the weakest link that we've been looking for.
And obviously she knows how to get in and out.
And pass the spirit. Oh wait, this is not before the spirit. It is before.
Well, I'll let the team decide. Is this going to be happening before or after Mike's injury, this whole conversation?
I think after, since we said that we were in Mike's room earlier. In Mike's medical room, so that will be after he got...
Yeah,
but I'm willing to be a little flexible on this. So what's the team's verdict as a vote?
I personally think it would make more sense afterwards, as it's been, he has had a week to do this, and I won't assume that, getting
It makes
all
a
this
good
information he had, they would take just a little bit of, but actually a lot of time.
I'd say it makes a good place to go ahead and skip forward to that point.
Okay, so sorry for those who haven't voted yet, but 4 votes for after get the majority.
But, all right, so, which brings me to where I was doing this. Now, Cage, I wanted to make sure of something. When you said one of those doors, one of those loading bay doors was mag-locked, correct?
It very much felt like it, yes.
Just one?
Just the one I tried, I know for sure. Maybe there's others, but I did not get close enough and felt them up enough to try.
Cage, you did try several of the doors, and you heard chains rattling on the inside of the building when you tried those doors.
Okay.
One door, and one door alone, did not have any chains, and it didn't budge when you pulled on it. And with your special abilities, you sensed the mag lock.
Yeah, so only one I felt like strange maglock things about. The rest, there was rattling, there was chains, so that is just chained up and everything.
And smoke, you didn't see a way in or out of the building from up on the roof, right?
Correct. The roof has a whole lot of cameras up there that were very well hidden, and the skylight is boarded up. So we will
Well,
make a lot of noise trying to get in from the.
Well, so that tells us that pretty much with 100% certainty, that's how they're getting their supplies in and out, is through that one particular mag-locked loading bay.
Yes, it would indeed, Briar. It would indeed.
Okay, can I get Ferric to help me with that?
All right, so you are requesting one service from Ferric to search for Fior, basically just to hover in place until she comes out for a smoke break.
Yes. And then I guess alert me, or like I would I guess be with Ferric, and then but not like right with, because I'm assuming Ferric probably needs to like float around and do stuff for a little bit, and then like, but I'll be nearby so that I can come over when I'm alerted.
I don't know how the spirits work, but can't you just, be almost, well, not anywhere, but pretty far away to just, when they alert you, you can just see through their eyes or something?
Sort of, yeah. You've basically got a telepathic connection with the spirits that you have summoned and bound with, much like a technomancer is psychically connected with the sprites. So your physical body would have to walk to that location, but if you were to astrally project, you could send your soul to go meet with your spirit as soon as the spirit detects the person they're searching for.
I mean, I would like I would want to be nearby so that I can immediately go try to talk to her. I
Right.
guess.
No. Okay. So your astral form moves at a walking speed of like 100 meters in 5 seconds. At running speed, it's like 5 kilometers in 5 seconds. So you don't have to be that close.
And you can, if she doesn't have any magical abilities, you can appear in your astral form to her,
Yes,
which has the added benefit of you don't appear to cameras when you do that.
Yes. So you can project your spirit out of your body, and then you can manifest your spirit so that people can see and hear it.
But technology can't see or hear it.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably exactly what I'll do then, because that is good.
So you're going to try and make contact with the assumed weakest link of the site security.
Well, I'll pass it by the group first. I'm not just gonna act on my own.
What's the group verdict on that? Do we want Briar to do this plan? Does anyone want to accompany her, perhaps in the astral, to speak with Fiora?
If possible, I would first absorb Fiora before doing any speaking or anything. And wasn't there like a barrier or something that you couldn't pass through?
The Earth itself.
No, but wasn't there like a magical barrier around the site?
Nobody went into the site, and all examinations from the exterior says there's absolutely nothing magical about it at all.
Because that would be suspicious, even in London, for an abandoned building to be magic.
Okay, I thought I remember there being some kind of magical barrier that we couldn't pass through, but okay.
I could possibly join you in the astral when you do it, but I would get a little heads up for that. I can't just do it.
I
Right.
don't think Ace can do that.
Oh, he can, just not naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, yes.
but I would recommend we first try to see if there's any sort of a rhythm to her smoking, as it were.
I'm just concerned about using multiple services on my spirit.
Can't you just tell it to stay there and watch for a extended period of time and inform you always when it sees this person?
The
Or is
other
that-
option, the other option, Briar, is in the future, just use a weaker spirit. Just summon one, and it's good until dawn or dusk.
True, I keep forgetting I can just do that.
Yep, something that all of our mages seem to forget is that they don't have to keep using their bound spirits. Their simple summon spirits can do almost everything that a bound spirit can, other than specialized services.
Okay, well, I would wait until, I guess, dawn, and then immediately try to summon probably an earth spirit, since it has... Yeah, the earth one has search as one of its base powers.
Oh, bear in mind that your detection spirit is the spirit of water.
Right, okay. Yeah, so then I would just, at dawn, I'll summon a water spirit, do that, and I'll have it, watch her until it's gonna disappear at dusk.
All right, so I believe your summoning skill is 10. So declare what force you want the spirit to be at. Every 3 points of force gives it 1 extra power.
So... wait, what?
So when you summon a spirit or cast a spell, you have to declare force. It's the first thing you do. Force determines how powerful it is. For every 3 points worth of force on a spirit, one of the optional powers can be chosen.
So since I don't really need it to have optional powers, because does the water one have search as one of its base powers?
Yes, it does. But the force also determines how good it is at various activities. So the search power requires, where is it? Magic plus intuition, and it needs 5 hits, and each roll takes 10 minutes of time. The smoke break tends to be shorter than 10 minutes, so it's going to have to be able to get all 5 hits on its first roll. If it has intuition of force and magic of force. So to get 5 hits on average, that would need to be like
8.
Force 7.
7 is 14, which is below.
Technically, yes, but I didn't want her to do physical damage to herself because, oh wait, no, your magic is 6. So yeah, even at Force 7, it's going to be physical damage.
You'd want to go with Force 8 because it's better to be safe than sorry. If you go Force 7 and then we reach 4 versus Force 8, you take some damage. We have time at the moment to regenerate health. We don't have. How often does this thing do they come up for smoke break?
We have no idea yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to pin down by doing this. I'll just do Force 8. Our
Can
my
I
limit
assist
is
in this?
12, right?
Yep. 2 times
So-
magic.
Twister, what was that you said?
Can I assist? As in,
No, you cannot assist with
Yeah.
summoning,
um,
especially since you're not even the same tradition.
that's true. My side note is, can I try to do it? Because summoning.
If
Actually, what is my summoning?
Briar, if you'd be all right, Bones can do this instead.
My summoning's only 10.
Or you can both do it, and both your spirits can search, improving your chances.
True.
The more the merrier.
Exactly. All right. I will try to summon. I can't get Force 8. I'm rolling 10 dice. I'm not spending an edge this early on when I only have 2 remaining for some reason.
Bear in mind, you're also at 3 physical damage, so you have a negative
Yep.
1 modifier. Okay.
No, that's at 10 after that, I believe. Assuming. Yep, 10 after that. Spellcasting's at 13. Force 5. And I believe that's 13? 12. Perfect.
No, that's
No?
not how spirits work.
Oh.
It rolls to determine how much damage you take.
Oh, okay.
So let me just get that.
And then I
here.
get to resist that, or I just flat out take it?
Well, no, you get to roll to resist, and you just rolled.
Yeah.
And which type was it? Detection for you as well? So also water.
I believe it is detection is
Yeah.
water.
Okay, and so Force 5 for you, and what was the name you wanted for your Spirit of Water?
Well, from the looks of it, Alucard fits from these ones apparently being vampires of some sort. From the looks of it,
But they're not vampires. They're
Nostradamus.
Yeah, that's a
It's a vampire.
historic. No, Nostradamus is a historic doctor. He was the one who did a bunch of predictions and wrote a really dumb book on it. So he's not really remembered for his doctoring. He's remembered for his series of predictions. But Nostradamus was a doctor. A real human being doctor.
I see.
And he wore green pants.
Huh. Well, the worst kind of doctor I could pick would be like Sigmund Freud.
Well, I suppose he would be a detection doctor, being that he's a psychologist.
Yeah.
He'd also probably tell you that it's not Freud, it's Freud.
Meh. I mean, he'd also say that the Oedipus complex is a real thing, naming it after a person who literally killed themselves after they realized that they had sex with their mother. But that's a side note.
So, Bones, you will be taking 3 stun damage.
Oh, it just does it?
It's times 2 of whatever number of hits it got. It got
Good
4.
to know.
That's 8. But you did get 1 service from your spirit.
Because I didn't get 6.
Sorry?
Is it because I did not get 6, or is
If
it
it got
because I?
if it got 5, it would have still beat you.
Oh, okay.
So it's your 5 minus however many hits it got, 4. So
Okay.
1 service.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Briar has 1 service as well from her detection spirit, and Briar, you have to survive 6 physical damage. Bearing in mind that you do have your special centering, so you actually have 18 to resist drain. Bravo, Briar. It didn't hurt you at all.
Dat body.
Body doesn't even come into account yet for Briar.
The power of will.
Yeah, that it's her willpower and logic that determine her drain resistance.
What was body then? Body
To-
was doing
to-
something cool too.
To heal yourself after taking that damage.
Right.
Well, or to resist actual physical damage, like someone shooting at you.
And what's the name of your water spirit going to be?
Dewdrop.
Drop the dew. Anyway, you get 2 optional powers, and Bones, yours gets 1 optional power. However, considering you both only have 1 service, and you're both using that service to do search, doesn't really matter right now.
Do that do.
But I think that's something that'll have to wait for next session. Speaking of which, Abobob, you're still here? Okay. When do we want to do the makeup session? I was thinking possibly Thursday the 27th.
What do you mean by makeup session?
Because with Christmas and New Year's both coming up on December 24th, 25th, and December 31st, January 1st, no session on those particular days.
Ah, so you want to pick another date. Okay, let me just get my schedules out.
I
can't
have no
guarantee
idea.
availability.
Sorry, what was that, Hunter?
I can't guarantee availability.
All right.
Neither
Well,
can I.
Monday nights I have off, but they'll occasionally have me work Thursday nights.
okay. So if you can all look into the 27th, if you can just maybe, if your work is flexible enough, we'll tentatively schedule it in, pencil it in for the 27th. But if that doesn't work for anyone, let me know as soon as you know, and we'll try to renegotiate a different date. Sound good?
The 27th
Yep.
of this month?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, that's like almost 100% fine for me.
Okay. I don't know yet.
January is gonna look weird though, because I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, January might be a little bit weird for me as well. December the 27th looks good for me.
It's all in the air for me because I don't know if I'm going to get a job.
And then we have the question about Abobob and Twister. Twister, are you coming back to the campaign? You think, or what's?
At current, probably not. Eventually, probably yes, but as in, I probably wouldn't be able to play next Monday. That being said,
Well, like I just said, it's not going to be Monday
I know.
next time. It'll
The
be-
27th, I don't know yet if I'm even going to be in Ottawa, so I can't guarantee anything. Because typically at this point, my father's already have called me, but he hasn't. So
User
I have no
disconnected
idea if I
from
have
your
any plans.
channel.
That makes sense. But yeah, we will likely be resuming Mondays in the future. But like we just established, some of you have new schedules coming up, so maybe Mondays don't work anymore. This is something we're all going to have to figure out come January. But assuming lots of assumptions, it'll be the 27th of December, and then the 7th of January will be a full session after that. Again, though, it's up in the air. We will find out what we find out when the time comes.
I don't think I go back to school until the 8th or the 9th, so the 7th of January should be fine for me. That said, I'm picking my classes this Thursday, so I'll have like a 98% better idea of what my January to April is going to look like.
Okie dokie. Very cool. Yeah, that's right. We didn't really get around to actually hammering out the repercussions of the previous night. Um, do we have enough energy for that, or do people need to get to sleep now?
Well, Kara
think-
already left, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, Voin isn't going to be any help in that scenario.
I still got energy, but I don't know how much help Cage will be.
I have
Well-
some energy, but not much.
then we can leave it. We'll just pause it right there.
Yeah.
I do hope that everyone feels more confident about this mission now that you've received all this juicy intel.
Yep.
For
yummy,
sure.
Yummy details.
Pretty much the same as before.
Whether you're walking in guns blazing or helping a disgruntled dwarf quit his job, it's all the same to Cage.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Well, I know that I've missed like 4 sessions for this specific mission.
No, just two.
Just 2. Oh, wow. But in my opinion, it's always better to try the diplomatic route first, because unless you really fuck it up, it usually goes better than the alternative of trying to fight an Evo black site military force.
Well, the thing is, you can always go to the bloody path if you want to.
No, at a certain point, if you fail the diplomatic approach hard enough, they know you're coming and will come to you first when they think that you're not prepared for them. So it is possible to lose that, or at least severely hamper your ability to do it successfully.
But hey, if they're coming
fair
to
enough.
you with guns blazing, then at least you have guns blazing of your own.
Yep, that's the
Oh
hope.
yeah, fucking street war. I'd love that.
We say Voin, sick 'em, and then they all die.
To be fair, Voin, she's great one-on-one, and she's great at ambushes, but straight up fight with guns, she hasn't had that experience other than once. And while she managed to survive without getting hurt, her best friend nearly got killed. In fact, the player had to burn a point of edge to keep alive.
If I'm not mistaken, that was Kay.
You are not mistaken. And Twister, I think you muted and unmuted in reverse.
Yeah, I realized it doesn't matter anyways, though.
Ace has a knack of staying alive.
I think you had to burn a point at one point as well.
I
didn't
did.
you?
No,
But
Aurelio
taking
did
into
for him.
consideration the situation, that was very little pay for that.
Aurelio burned an edge for Ace.
Yes, classic. But yeah, thank you all for playing. The other thing I wanted to mention, Twister, not military. I mean, sure, they might have some military grade weapons in there.
I
but
believe I did say that.
you said
Evo-
military, but I'm saying not military.
Sorry, let me rephrase that then. I intended military grade.
Ah, okay. I thought you were implying that it was a military black site.
Nope.
Okay. That is something I'm surprised none of you asked Sliver to find out is what's going on in this black site? Apparently none of you care.
That's
or
a
at least
good
you don't care
one.
enough
I
to
did not
ask.
think of that.
It is
You-
not relevant to our mission, I hope.
Oh, no, it is. It helps to know what's going on in there before you just walk right in, Mike.
Well,
We are testing biotoxins here. Oh shit!
No,
Maybe
no,
we shouldn't shoot the canisters.
Now, see, biotoxins, I'd say, everybody's name. No, I'm saying Mike's name in particular here.
well, to be honest, I don't think any of us had, any sort of real idea how deep, as it were, Sliver could go and get information. So, asking, oh, by the way, what do they do here? That seems a little bit, at least to me, a little bit like a difficult question to get information from. For.
Well, it depends on what kind of persona you come up as. It's like, oh, I'm a wealthy business person and I want this property for myself. Or you come along as, I'm a student at university and I'm doing a study on sewage lines for my thesis. It all depends on what lie you come up with.
I am here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out
Plenty
of
of gum. Oh.
Do you have some gum for me?
And on that
Honestly-
note, I think I will end the recording.